Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michelle Diaz back with another CCGO episode. And today I have a very special guest, the one, the only Glen Smoke Rings himself. How are you today?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome.
I'm glad to hear that. So, Glen, tell me a little bit about yourself for the people who don't know you and would like to get to know you. Can you speak a little bit?
Yeah.
Who is Glen?
Father four, IT background from high school to college.
Okay.
My grandmother bought me my first computer and I tore it up, so I had to learn how to fix it. Mom wasn't gonna buy another one, so did that all the way through college. After being laid off twice, went into sales, started in cellular sales, and then went to telecom. Did telecom for 13 and then got burnt out on that and went into barbecuing. The barbecue aspect started when I moved back to Houston.
Okay.
And me and my brother-in-law would compete to see who's barbecue. The family hated it because we make them try both sides of the fire.
I bet that was a lot of food.
Yeah, a lot of food. Mom kept saying, hey, you should turn it into a business. But I was like, hey, I'm making good money. I thought I would hate it. I thought I would hate the barbecue side of it when I turned it into a business. It actually was a total opposite. I took something that I had passion for and that was kind of like it was a freelance craft that I would do because I like get-togethers. So I would have get-togethers at the house. I probably before COVID had about 8 or 9 at the house a year.
Oh, wow.
Where we party and DJ, music, everything.
I'm trying to go to your parties.
And the food would be served. So then I turned it into a business 2.5 years ago, and the rest is history.
So you started this 2 years ago. How's that been going for you?
It's been fun. Stress comes along with life as it is, but it's my own stress. I own it. So I made good money for Comcast, but that was their stress, you know what I'm saying, that they were giving to me. And if they were paying me what they were paying me, I know I was making them 20 or 30 times more. So, you know, the smallest little gratifying things that I successes that I experienced here are way more than what I did when I was in telecom. So
okay. Well, that's good to hear. Well, I do have to ask, what is I guess you could say your fan favorite dish. What is the dish that people ask for you the most?
It would probably be 2, which is the ribs. The ribs are to die for. And then probably, I'll say 3, either the beans or greens.
Okay, okay. And so I heard that you do catering.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And so can you kind of give me a step-by-step process of what catering is like for a customer who wants to do catering for you?
Yes. The process is seamless. Going through this journey, I learned to ask the right questions. Asking the right questions prepares you for what the customer wants. If you don't know what their journey looks like, then you can't give them the service level that they want. So I ask a lot of questions up front.
Okay.
Sometimes they look at it and say it's a little annoying, but I just explain. I say, hey, in order for me to give you what you want, I have to know what you want, and then what you don't tell me what you want. And what I always promise is that if you hand it over to me, there's no worries. Like you can walk away. Okay. So when I offer my product, I can stand behind the price that I offer because I know that I'm going to give you something that you pretty much can say hands down that if I tell them what I want, and I give those things that you don't even think that you want. Sometimes, you know, you hear what they say and I say, hey, this would look nice. And so, you know, I call it just gifting. Add that to it as kind of like as an icing on the cake. Okay.
And you bring the food yourself or do you have a team behind you?
Depending on the level of service, depends on if I need a team.
Okay.
If it's something where a small, intimate setting, then no, I don't need a whole team to do that. But if you're getting like 25 or more, you're probably going to need somebody else to help you to serve, to make sure that the process goes smoothly.
Okay. And you know, he was nice enough to cater for CCN. And so I see that you have a couple dishes here. And so would you like to explain what you have brought to the studio?
Yeah. So I brought some homemade potato salad here.
Okay.
We've got some smoked, they call jerk baked beans.
I'm gonna need to zoom in on this when he opens it up.
Let's see.
It's like Christmas, guys.
We've got.
I'm gonna cry. Here, I'll move this for you.
And then we've got some Cajun seasoned baked mac and cheese.
occasion?
It's got some seasoning to it.
I'm gonna cry.
We've got the famous ribs.
Well, I'm ready to see these ribs. Oh, beautiful.
And then the icing on the cake, which was, I just did that to make it a surprise, is what we call honey glazed turkey wings.
Well, before we start digging in, I do have a couple judges, if you don't mind, to come to our beautiful stand over here. Judges, line up.
I'm here.
The judges are here. I think we have a couple more judges that are making their way over here.
I'll be the only judge that's all y'all need.
Oh, well, perfect. So a couple questions since before we dig in. So I know that you had the cookouts that you would do with your brother. And so what got you into barbecuing? Was it more of a passion or was it more just, I like everybody around?
So I got into barbecuing when I lived in East Texas. So that's why I moved to after college.
Okay.
And so there was this place down there that had awesome barbecue. So I tried a little dabble in, and at that time I was rusty. I sucked. I really did. I'm not gonna lie.
We love the honesty.
But I don't like failure. So I kept just kind of dabbling here, out here, and I think I found something that I was like, okay, this is good.
Okay.
And so then the thing transferred over to my brother-in-law, and so of course barbecue or food makes any get together good. And so family member was came over and ate the food. And I would always say, hey, give me your best or worst critic. Because the only way for me to get better is to, hear what a person's heartfelt actual experience was.
Right.
And so that's how I ended up here. I've always liked to cook. Being from a household where my mom was working a lot, it was just me and my sister. So my mom wouldn't I can't tell the story because I told it once and she gets mad. But my mom would not let her cook after an experience in the kitchen. So I had to cook the food for me and my sister. So that's where I guess the love for cooking came.
Okay. And have you had any collaborations with any other people that barbecue or maybe the Houston rodeo? Have you ever thought of maybe just bringing them turkey legs to the rodeo?
I have collab events. My mentor actually, we work hand in hand on a couple of events.
Okay.
So I did actually do an event with her where she was doing a ladies' brunch. And so I believe in, I guess brushing elbows with those who have been down the path that you want to go down.
Okay.
So I actually just came to the event and volunteered.
Okay.
Which helped her out. She didn't have to pay anybody, but I actually got to see what it looks like to have a full-fledged brunch. And so, those type of things I think that kind of like prepare you for the next level before you get there.
And speaking of next level, we have entered the year 2024. So what are some plans and goals that you have for your business? Because I'm ready to devour this shit. Oh, I'm ready to eat this food. I'm so sorry. I'm ready to eat this food. But what are some goals and plans that you have for your business?
So one of the big goals is to get a event center started.
Okay.
So one of my close clients that I still contact with and talk to all the time that I had when I was at Comcast was, they had an event center and they own a bunch of them around Houston.
Okay.
And so when I wanted to throw a party when I turned 40, I went and priced what their cost was. And I was pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised at how much these events cost. But what they did do is they have everything in-house. So they connect you with the DJ, they connect you with the bartender, and the food has to come from their staff that's on house. So I was like, hey, what makes more sense than to be able to take advantage of one client and offer them multiple service where, like I said before, where they don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
So the goal is to open up an event center where I am the actual presenter and, I guess collaborative person that creates the food and gives them the experience of not only having a beautiful place to have their party at, but also be able to experience the food that I bring.
Would you ever want to open up your own restaurant?
That may be a goal down the line, but I'm I guess you want to say anal about, the presentation of my stuff. And anytime you take and bring somebody else in, then things are good. No one's ever gonna do the same thing that you do exactly
Right.
the same.
Right.
And so again, a friend of mine told me that he opened up a restaurant and he has like 5 businesses. And
Wow.
his restaurant took a hit and his other business took a hit because he couldn't do the proper marketing. He couldn't market his other business and work them and start a restaurant.
Okay.
So if I want to do something, I want to do it in excellence. So I was like, hey, I would want to have at least other things going that are not as top priority before I say, hey, let me go open up a brick and mortar.
Right, right. And so with that being said, would you like or would you mind if we can get a couple bites
Yes.
and we
I
can
mean,
judge? And we're back. As you can see, we all have our lovely plates here. So can you explain for me one more time what each of these items
yeah.
are?
So we've got the drum of the turkey wing. We've got King's famous St. Louis style ribs. We've got our smoked jerk baked beans. We've got Cajun mac and cheese, which is baked, and then we've got home style potato salad.
And now I'm here with my two judges in the back, and you are about to see our live reaction to the Smoke Ring King himself. So, are y'all ready? I'm ready.
I'm about to get into it.
I want to try
in
it.
advance.
I want to try the ribs first.
I'm gonna
Actually,
do beans first.
I was gonna try the beans first. I'm gonna try the beans.
Those are okay.
Those beans are not playing.
No. Oh my god.
Wow.
They're like, it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do I explain it?
Very savory.
Juicy.
Mm.
Juicy.
That's
I've never had juicy beans before in my life, but here they are.
Interesting word to call beans.
Next, potato salad. Cheers, guys.
Mac and cheese.
I hope y'all's mouths are watering
It's not.
so that
I would hate to be watching this video. I'll be so jealous.
exactly,
Mm.
guys. Oh
Y'all know
my
when people
god.
die in the repast, the food, it'd be so good you just forget who died.
What?
I'm like, what? Ooh, Aunt Shirley, where's she at? Like, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was lost in your
Hey,
sauce.
so it's okay.
But
Have you
anyway,
had cheese yet?
I just took a bite.
Okay.
That's why. Wow, I really liked the mac and cheese. That was really good. So, before I dig my face into this play, I have a couple questions for you. So, for those who are maybe have the same business as you or is wanting to create their business, tell me the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to creating your own business.
It's a one-stop shop. It's a one-man show. So the amount of effort and energy that you put into it is sometimes can be overwhelming. I can take, for instance, last night I cooked. I probably went to sleep at about 4:45. Took a 2-hour nap. Took my son to daycare for 8:30. Came back and kind of did some prep things, and then got ready to come over here. So those are like the hours are can be relentless sometimes.
Right.
For Christmas, I had a bunch of orders. I had about 9 orders to get out in one day.
Mhm.
2 Christmas parties within 2 days of each other.
Mm.
And so literally I cooked for 3 days straight.
Mm.
I'm a diehard 49ers fan.
Okay,
we
49ers.
we played on Christmas Day and I didn't make it past halftime. I just fell out. I was asleep. So, after going to 3 families Christmas, where I didn't have to cook before one of them, I was like, nope, I'm not going to. I had a fourth one to go to. I said, I'm not going. I'm going home and go to sleep. And so that's the rough part. But for me, the pleasure of it is nothing makes me more happy to see somebody experience something that you created from start to finish.
Yeah.
And
you real happy right now.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the joy of I call it foodies, is nothing matched. So that's the joy there. So yeah.
So, I'm so sorry. What is some advice? Do I have barbecue on my face?
Food good, huh?
What is some advice that you have for those people that are starting their businesses?
My thing is focus.
Mm.
I call it intense focus. I was doing a little side business before I went and turned this into a business, and I stopped that completely. I told him, I say, hey, this is my focus right now. And I believe 100% that, the side of wealth is multiple streams of income, but you can't be all over the place. And so networking is a part of my life. I used it in telecom. Now I'm back focused on that. But I couldn't even networking when the first kind of year and a half. I was focused on just perfecting the craft.
Right.
And it's so crazy that the content that I had from a Christmas party, I wouldn't have been ready to let somebody come capture that content a year ago, probably not even 6 months ago. So I believe that you got to go through the stages. You got to go through the pains. You got to go through the failures. You got to go through the ups and the downs to properly prepare you for the success that comes. Now I can, and there's no perfect chef. There's not. But now I'm at the level where even if I make a mistake on something, you as a customer would never know. Because I can fix most stuff before it even gets to you. You know what I'm saying? If the temperature spikes on the pit or something like that, it's like those things that I've learned from messing up on stuff. So the one word I would say is focus, and then the other word I would say is don't give up.
Right. And that's important. So one last question before we wrap things up. You spoke about networking. So how has networking for you helped you build up your business?
So
Creating content.
I had two stories. One is I had a Christmas party, and the Christmas party would not have came if I had not met the first person that I met. But the first person was not the person who got me in contact with the people that I did the party for. That person was 6 people above that person that I met. So I went through 6 levels of people before I got this Christmas party. And I had to follow up on them. And so they said they wanted me to do the Christmas party, but from the date that they said they want to do it and me doing the Christmas party, they ghosted me. So I called my friend. I said, hey, I know how to get them to buy into me doing the Christmas party.
Joke's on y'all for ghosting him, because this food is delicious.
I went to that meeting and I told him, I say, hey, can I go to the meeting and bring some food? So he said, yeah, I don't see a problem. So I said, well, let me go through protocol. I called the president of the organization and said, hey, can I bring y'all some food? Came, set up the food, and guess what? 2 days later, I got the event.
Okay, I know that's right. Because who can say no?
Yeah, so sometimes you have to give to get. It's a principle. And then, like I say, the networking of content. I would not have met you guys if I didn't go to a networking event. And that was 4 networking events that I went to before I actually got the chance to come over here and sit down and do an interview with you guys. So I'm learning now, and I've always believed it, that you have to keep going, and you do all that you can do.
You got to show up for yourself.
Yep, you got to show up. And if you don't show up, you're not going to get anywhere. I think they say that most businesses that are small fail because nobody knows about them. So, first you got to create your product, make sure it's an excellent product, and then after that, you got to get out there and get people to know about you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, not only for this delicious food, but for coming on this CCGO episode and giving us some advice. I know there's someone out there who definitely needed to hear those words. So you guys heard it here yourself. Put yourselves out there. If you have a product that you know is ready to be shared with the world, go ahead. Click that record button and put yourself out there. Also, before we end, do you want to go ahead and give a shout out to where people can find you and cater with him, because this food is delicious. Best believe I'm not tearing it up right now because I'm in camera and I'm not trying to embarrass myself.
I don't care.
But y'all heard it. But go ahead.
On Instagram, I am King's Smoke Rings BBQ, and it's KINGZ SMOKE and then RINGZ BBQ. And then on Facebook, I am the same thing, KINGZ SMOKE RINGZ BBQ. I am on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok now, thanks to my business partner that made me do that. So he made me get on there. I'm on Yelp. I'm on Google. I'm on Travelocity. All those. I'm on anything you can think of when you want to come to Houston and find food.
I know, that's right. Well, you guys heard it here first. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the CCGO episode. It was so fun. Thank you for enjoying this mukbang with us. And we will see you guys next time.
Hold on.
I'm about to tear this rib up. What?
Yo, I gotta say something. Yo, this food, gas, busted. You bite into the ribs, you can taste that it's smoked off the first bite.
Time in my ear, I'm just
Juicy.
The beans, look, my plate almost empty.
Listen, quick ASMR.
Shut. Crazy.
Oh